rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, let's begin.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on December 17th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, claims. Item 2A, approval of the payroll claims ending on December 25th, 2024.
I move approval of the payroll claims ending December 25th.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2B, approval of the claims processed through January 3rd, 2025.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2C, approval of a claim to El Centro de las Americas in the amount of $12,321.10.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
I'll abstain.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2D, approval of the claims including billings for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135 for Salem Mirza dated December 23rd, 2024 for a total of $175.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 3, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion or consideration by a commissioner, by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, amendments to the following county contracts. C-090597 with Olson Zaleski Winner LLP for legal representation in child support cases for the Lancaster County Public Defender's Office.
Hey, real quick, I apologize. I'm going to pause you. I've just gotten a request. None of us have our mics on because we're all rusty. Everybody just hit their button? Good to go. Please continue, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. 3A2 C-24-0580 with Branched Oak Observatory for the Miller's Astrophotography Research Center MARC project. The C-14-0614 with the Executive Answering Services for annual telephone answering services. C-20-0759 with Executive Janitorial Corp for the annual cleaning services of the County Engineering Office and Shop and Weed Control Office. C-24-0359 with Vasa Construction for construction of the Health Department Storage Garage. B, right-of-way contract with Paul B. Schroeder, North 148th Street and Holdridge Street, in the amount of $11,755. C, change order 1 to county contract C-24-0830 with Midwest Infrastructure Incorporated to extend the project start date to March 1st, 2025. D, change order 5 to county contract C-23-0983 with the Yost Excavating Incorporated for the Ash Hollow Waverly Channel Stabilization Project. E, receive and place and file the following reports for December 2024. The Clerk of the District Court, the Assessor Register of Deeds, and Records Management. F, setting public hearings at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building for the following. on January 14th, 2025, regarding an appeal or special permit 24036 per Article 13.051 of the Lancaster County zoning regulations for a large solar energy conversion system for up to 304 megawatts on approximately 2,442 acres. On January 21st, 2025, regarding text amendment 24012 to amend Articles 2, 4.005, 4.007, 13, and repealing Articles 2.002A, 4.005, 4.007 as hereto existing of the Lancaster County zoning regulations. And on January 21st, 2025, regarding the Comprehensive Plan Amendment 24006, a request to adjust the priority growth areas map, future service limit, future land use map in the 2025 Comprehensive Plan for approximately 193 acres located near 84th Street and Rokeby Road.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4A, new business, resolution in the matter of fixing salaries for elected officers, chief deputies for the 2025 calendar year, effective for the pay period beginning on December 12th, 2024.
I will move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4B, resolution in the matter of witness fees paid by Lancaster County, which have remained unclaimed for 6 months or more.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? None, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4C, a special events permit application from Scott Wisekamp for the 2025 Animal Run event to be held on February 1st, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Is Scott here by any chance?
Yeah, this morning.
I would move approval. of
I'll
this.
second. He's been before us before, and it's always a good event.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4D, an exceptional circumstance award under Personal Rule 17.9B for Keith Pitlick, Real Property Appraiser 1, for a one-step pay increase.
Keith has been with us now for about 7 or 8 months. He's a appraiser and does residential inspections, which, as you know, we need to do every 6 years. What kind of drew us here today was, it's very unusual for a new staff person to get the number of phone calls we've had praising him. I think we've had 7 or 8, saying how great he was to work with, how great he was to interact with and explain the process and what we were looking for and so forth. And so I appreciate Keith, what he's done to put a good face on the assessor's office and the county with homeowners. I think it's, we want to recognize him for that. And I think his supervisor is going to say a few things here, so.
Hi, yeah, Keith is an appraiser 1 in our office, which we tell everybody he's the face of our office. They're the frontline employees. They talk to the most homeowners. Obviously, when we go to the doors as the assessor's staff, we get mixed reactions. It's not always positive ones. Keith brings out the best in conversations, educates people, empathizes with them, and if he doesn't know the answer, he passes it on to his supervisor too. So I think just the sheer overwhelming great conversations he's had with people, he's probably had more in his first 8 months, 9 months here than people have in a lifetime. So I think it's great that this is available to offer to somebody for their outstanding customer service, and he's very, very deserving of it. So,
Well, we, always good to hear.
yeah.
I've actually received compliments about Keith's work myself.
Yeah,
So-
so he's just,
This isn't the first time I've heard this.
correct. He's great at what he does. He's a great teammate. I think everybody, his supervisor here loves working with him too. So I just, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so.
We deeply, Keith, thank you so much. This is all about the citizens of Lancaster County, and you're in a position where you're going to make an impression on a lot of folks, and it matters. The way you treat them will matter in their attitudes towards the county. So thank you so much. It's good to hear this.
I appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
We always expect good customer service from employees, right? But to have that many employees take or that many constituents actually take the extra effort to call in, that's pretty impressive, so.
Again, I appreciate it. It's really flattering, and it's something I enjoy.
Like I said, this isn't the first time that I've heard compliments about the work you've done. So you're doing great. Just keep it up, and thank you for being one of the faces of Lancaster County.
Absolutely.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Item 4E, the approval of the Keno Human Services Fund, Keno Human Services Prevention Fund 2025 recommendations.
And just because I wouldn't want to let it go, we all saw Sarah get excited and get up too early, right?
I was really excited to come up here.
Like to pick that up.
Good morning, Sarah Hoyle, Director of Human Services for the City of Lincoln and Lancaster County. The Keno funding award recommendations that you have in front of you, just a reminder, 5% of Keno revenue goes towards prevention, early intervention within our community. It funds the important work that nonprofits do to aid the residents of our community. It'll be on the City Council agenda next Monday for public comment. It was on yesterday for first reading. So with that being said, I'd ask for your approval. I also want to recognize Commissioner Vest for his leadership on the Keno Advisory Committee. And it was a daunting task this year. We have $250,000 to award, and I think we had over $600,000 in requests come in. So it's a lot to review. And again, these are mini grants. So it's there's a lot of projects out there that are very worthy, but we're not able to fund just a tiny fraction of them. So.
And so, when we're talking about leadership, I mean, Sarah has a very special style that makes everyone feel included, and we have very thorough discussions. Everybody who gets an application gets vetted very carefully, and these decisions are made after a lot of thoughtful discussion. So, really, my part was very small, and Sarah's part's just vital. So, glad to be a part of this, and I know the volunteers, once again, worked very hard to come to this agreement, so I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
4F, contract with Cheever Construction Company for construction for the Records and Information Management relocation. The cost is not to exceed $371,600.
Good morning, Commissioners. Karen Peterson, Director of Facilities and Properties. This is the construction contract to move records management out of the K Street warehouse and into the Municipal Services Center. I was really pleased. We had a good bidding climate. We had 6 bids that came in, and 5 bids, and the top 2 were within $25,000 of each other. And I really like to see those top bids close, because that tells me everybody's reading the same specs, and usually those specs were written pretty well. So I am recommending approval for that. Completion 6/1/25 this year. I can say that now, this year.
I want clarifying on the motion.
Sure.
There it says relocation. So is this this is the contract just for the construction? It's not for the
Correct.
actual relocation.
That is correct.
Right?
You're going to see separate contracts come in for a furniture package, which is not a significant package. They've just got a few offices to furnish. And then you're also going to see a bid to move all the shelving and move the existing office. And then They're expanding a little bit. We're gonna get, there's no sense in building out a project without some redundancy in there, so there's gonna be some new shelving on there too. So,
Okay.
over in records management, that director, we've talked a little bit, we've seen some of the old estimates, and he's working on putting those together too. So you will see those. This is just for the construction, and this is under bid from projections. So I'm always pleased to start out the gate under, so.
Just when I first heard, I was like, that's a lot of money to move those boxes.
Right.
But then,
Right.
as I dove in a little further, so I'll move approval of F.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
4G, an interlocal agreement with the City of Lincoln regarding funding and responsibilities for the South 98th Street paving project from A Street to O Street.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So for my entire tenure, which is now 11 plus years as county engineer, I've been working on this segment of 98th Street from A to O. It's critical that we get this segment paved. Once this segment is paved, you will be able to drive on 98th Street on pavement from Highway 2 all the way up to Adams Street. It's significant for both the city and the county. This is a federal aid project, and that being said, we recently found out that the project's environmental requirements have changed, which I think will help us get this project out theoretically sooner than we'd anticipated. We're also
Requirements got easier?
that is, I don't really want to say that out loud. I was trying to be.
No. You're right. You don't talk about it when you're pitching a perfect game.
been working on it
Keep
for
going,
11
keep going.
years.
She has. She's been working on it for
They
all
got
6
harder,
that I've been
and then they got easier, and so
It's fine, keep going.
we're just going to keep rocking with that. That being said, this is a federal aid project with 80% being picked, 80% of the cost being picked up by our LCLC funds through the MPO, and that means the remaining 20% essentially has ended up being a split between Lincoln and Lancaster County. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to keep this project moving forward and to get this section of road open. Of course, that means that as soon as we're done with this one, or maybe sooner than that, we'll start talking about the next section of road connection. However, I'm excited to bring this forward this morning, and it is a really, really big deal for Lancaster County and the city of Lincoln.
Congratulations on all the progress. You've persevered through a lot. I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? This is a huge one, and just please pass on our thanks to your whole team and and thank you from us to you for all the work you've done on this one. So this is fantastic. I'm glad to be here.
Going through these agreements and working them all out, also, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the county attorney's office for helping out with these, because they are a heavy lift and quite complex, so.
People in a lot of offices leaned in on this, so thank you to everybody who was involved. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Best,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4H, contract with Gana Trucking and Excavating for the annual service of tree hauling. The cost is not to exceed $50,000.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is our annual tree hauling contract. So we do have some trees on occasion in the right of way, and it gets to be too much for our crews to handle. And in that case, we ask Gana to help us out so that we can get those trees out of the county right of way in a timely fashion.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4I, a mini grant contract application with the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office in the amount of $1,980 for the county sheriff to purchase 6 preliminary breath testing kits to be used for roadside DUI investigations.
Ben Houchin, Chief Deputy, Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. As you know, we do the
We get the grants for the saturated patrol a lot for these from Nebraska Department of Highway Safety. And here's just another way of us getting some money to do for our DWI testing and on the preliminary test. These are the ones that they use out in the field prior to, and it helps determine if they're going to make the arrest for the DUI.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4J, agreement with Treliant Operating LLC for online compliance training. The cost is $21,290.
And we just discussed this training this morning with the HR department. Chris and I attended a meeting with the leadership, and this is the online training that is coming forward for Lancaster County. Treliant is going to be organizing that and putting it out. So very important that all our people understand a number of issues that are facing Lancaster County, and I move approval.
I will second that, and we'd also been briefed on it as an entire commission in November, so this is the next step.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 4K, designating of the official Lancaster County newspapers for 2025 publications for transportation projects as follows: the Lincoln Journal-Star, the Voice News, the Crete News, Seward County Independent, the Waverly News, and Wahoo newspaper.
Does this need to be edited to remove Waverly? I understand that the Waverly newspaper is no longer operating.
Why, I hadn't heard that.
That's total news.
I mean, we certainly want to include the community of Waverly in communications,
Still
but
published.
it is still published?
Mhm.
Okay,
'Cause what,
then,
Wahoo took it over, that's why Wahoo's on there.
thank
So
you.
Wahoo took it over,
Got
but
it.
yeah,
It's Waverly and Wahoo.
but
Got it.
Waverly.
I appreciate that clarification, thank you.
Yeah.
I would move approval then.
Given that I was formerly in the newspaper industry when I was 12 years old,
I knew where that was going.
I would be honored to second this agreement.
Newsman Fest. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Let's get that out of the way early this
Yeah,
year,
good.
so,
Vest,
yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to 4L, legal engagement with Klein Williams Wright Johnson Oldfather LLP to provide professional legal services to Lancaster County.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 5, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak in items relating to county business not in the agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker is limited to one appearance of up to 5 minutes. That time may not be reserved, transferred, or otherwise assigned to other speakers. These time limits may be extended or reasonably decreased at the discretion of the chair.
Any members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing no members of the public wishing to speak? Okay, we will move on to announcements.
Item 6, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, January 9th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold the following meetings and public hearings on Tuesday, January 14th at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The regular meeting and the public hearing regarding an appeal on special permit 24036 per Article 13.051 of the Lancaster County zoning regulations for a large energy solar conversion system of up to 304 megawatts on approximately 2,442 acres in total. C, County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Item 7 is adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we will now convene, we are adjourned. We will now convene the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, January 7th. Mr. Clerk, please begin.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 2, our public hearings. Public hearing on the following motor vehicle tax exemption applications. They are a series for Nebraska Wesleyan University, Tabitha Incorporated, Seostris Shrine, St. Paul's Lutheran Church, New Bethel Bible Way Apostolic Temple, People City Mission, St. Elizabeth's Regional Medical Center doing business as CHI Health St. Elizabeth, Camp Sunshine, Bluestem Health, Doane University, the Salvation Army, Mercy City Church Incorporated, and Union College doing business as Union Adventist University.
We'll go ahead and open the public hearing on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications? Hearing none, go ahead and close the public hearing.
Brings us to item 3, our public hearing action items for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 4, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak on items relating to the County Board of Equalization business may do so at this time.
Any members of the public wishing to speak on any items of Board of Equalization business? Saying none, please proceed.
Item 5 is adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes,
Motion carries.
we are adjourned.